Hello, grade 4, how are you? Today we're gonna start chapter 2, lesson 1. The name of our lesson today, what is a region? It means what the meaning of a region. Okay, let's start. Before introducing what the meaning of region, guys, I wanna tell you something. Now we have in our world a lot of information relating to many kinds of science, right? We have information related to math or mathematics. We have information related to geography, related to history, related to English, related to French, Arabic, biology, chemistry, physics. So we have different kinds of information. How we organize this information, how we arrange this information, we sort them according to the kind of science. For example, we have information related to Arabic, so I add them to the Arabic box. For example, I have information related to English, I add them to the English box. I have information, or we discovered information related to science, I add them to the science box. Okay, so now how we arrange the information? We arrange the information by sorting them to the correct science, or to correct field. Okay, now we have a lot of areas, okay, in our world, areas and lands everywhere. How we organize these areas, how we organize these lands? We organize these lands or these areas by dividing them into regions, okay? So what the meaning of region? Region means area. Region means area. Now Pursaid is a big land. Okay, Pursaid, your city is a big land. How you arrange Pursaid? I divide Pursaid into areas, into streets. For example, your home is in Muhammad Ali Street. Your home is in Gumhuriyya Street. Muhammad Ali Street, it means Muhammad Ali area. Gumhuriyya Street means the Gumhuriyya area. Okay, region. Okay, I divide the land of Egypt. Egypt itself, okay? Egypt is a big country. We divide the land of Egypt into areas, okay? These areas are called cities. For example, city of Port Said, city of Ismailia, city of Alexandria, city of Luxor, city of Sharm el-Sheikh, city of Aswan, city of Cairo. So now I divide the land into areas. Here the area is a region. Okay, so any land, guys, any land. This land is a country, this land is a city. Okay, so you have to divide the land into regions. Okay, so now your city, Port Said, is divided into regions. Egypt itself, the land of Egypt, okay, is divided into regions. Here, the regions means cities. Okay, so what the meaning of regions? Region means areas. Regions means areas. So now region means one area share one or more feature. This is feature. One or more feature. What the meaning of that? Listen, guys, it means that when I divide the land into regions, sometimes we find one region, okay, have the same feature. For example, this is farming region, okay, this is a fishing region, this is coal mining region. So when we divide Egypt, for example, we find some farming region, okay, like delta cities, we can find fishing regions like Port Said. This is fishing region because it's located along the Mediterranean Sea. Like Alexandria, it's fishing region. Okay, coal mining region. Okay, I think like Sinai. Okay, this is coal mining region, or minerals mining regions. Okay, so now when we divide any land into region, sometimes you find that one region have one famous feature. So now Port Said, what its feature? It's famous for fishing. Okay, it's famous for fishing. Alexandria famous for fishing. Delta is famous for farming. Okay, okay. Now, guys, features uncommon. Features uncommon, it means that sometimes you can find two regions have the same feature. Sometimes you find two regions have the same features. Okay, what are the features that you could find? Some regions are based on the same features. Sometimes, guys, you find regions, some regions or two regions have the same government, for example, have the same government. Okay, you know that government means a system of making and carrying out rules or laws. Okay, government means a group of people. Those people make the laws. Those people write the laws of the country or of the city. So now sometimes you find two regions have the same government, okay? In the past, for example, Egypt and Sudan were having the same government, but after that they were separate, okay? Or separated. So now Egypt and Sudan in the past, they had the same government, but nowadays, no. So sometimes you find two regions, two countries have the same government, okay? Number two, population. Population means the number of people. Population means number of people who live in one area. So sometimes you find two regions have the same population. Means what? Have the same number of people who are living in these two regions. Okay. Number three, religion. Religion here, it means your religion, your faith, what you worship. So sometimes you find two regions have the same religion. Like, for example, Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Both countries have the same religion, Islam. Okay, for example, France and Italy, both countries or both regions have the same religion, Christianity. Okay, so sometimes we find two regions have the same feature. Okay, maybe this feature is the same government, maybe this feature is the same population, maybe this feature is the same religion according. Okay, let's move to the next topic. The next topic we have today is called borders, boundaries, and belts. What the meaning of border first? Now, guys, this is a country. As you can see, this is a map of a country. Okay? This country has a lot of cities. This country has a lot of cities. How these cities separated from each others? These countries are separated from each others by fake lines are called borders. By fake lines are called borders. Okay, so you can see these lines that separate the regions from each others or the cities from each others. You can find these lines. Who draw these lines? The map makers. The map makers draw these lines on the map. You can find the borders only on the map. You can't find them in real life. No, you can find them only on the map. But in real life, instead of these lines, they put police officers, okay, to save the borders of the country. So now here, this is one country, but this country has a lot of cities. How we separate these cities? We separate these cities by drawing borders on the map to separate the cities from each others. So now borders are fake lines only on maps, okay? These lines separate the regions. These lines separate the regions or separate the cities, okay? In real life, you couldn't find lines drawn on land. No, you could find the police officers, okay? These police officers stand on the borders of the land to keep it safe. Okay, guys? Okay. This is the meaning of borders. So now, for example, how we find this, if you check the map of Egypt, for example, you say this region is Port Said, this region is Cairo, this region is Alexandria, this region is Delta. How do you know? How do you know the beginning and the ending of a place? Or how you know the beginning and the ending of a region or of a city? By these borders. By drawing these borders, we can imagine the beginning and the ending of any region. We can find the beginning and the ending of any region. Here, for example, this region, this is its beginning, this is its ending. This region from the lines or from the borders, this is the beginning and this is the ending. Okay? Number two, boundaries. Boundaries also are separate lines that separate between two regions. Okay, Also, boundaries are edges separate two regions from each others. But this edges, guys, could be natural edges and could be artificial edges, okay? Could be natural edges, for example, like a river. So we could find the rivers, it's natural, of course, natural landform. We could find the rivers that separate two regions from each others, right? And we could find also boundaries like roads, okay? This is artificial because the man do it. So you could find roads, for example, that separate two regions from each other. Okay, guys? So now boundaries means what? Boundaries means the edge of a region. Edge means this is the edge. It means the outer frame. Okay. Edge means the outer frame. So now, for example, look, this is the edge of this slide. Look at this edge. This is that's what I'm pointing to it now. Okay, this is the edge of the slide. So sometimes the edge of a region, sometimes the edge of a region means the boundary of a region. Sometimes could be a natural boundary like a river, and sometimes or it could be artificial like a road. Okay. The third type is belts. What the meaning of belts? Belts means regions have one feature stretching across abroad. Again, what the meaning abroad area? What the meaning of belts? Belts are regions that have one feature. Sometimes, guys, when you are traveling, you find on the when you are traveling on the road, guys, you can find belts. Belts means one region have one feature. Sometimes you find a big region, okay? It's just farming region, okay? This is called the belts. This is called belts. Like, for example, the corn belt, the sun belt, the forest belt. This is in America. And sometimes you find it in Egypt too. Okay. So belt means a region have one same feature or have one feature. What this feature? It could be a farming region. Okay. So you can find all of these big area, okay, growing only one kind of crops like corn, like sunflowers, okay? So according to the plant they farm, they name the belt, okay? When I say, for example, corn belt, it means they are farming corn. When I say sun belt, they farm sunflowers, okay? When I say forest belt, okay, it means that this region or this area has forests. Okay, so these are the difference between borders, boundaries, and belts. Okay, now guys, we divide any country into region. Okay, now I divide now I divide Egypt, okay, into Alexandria, Port Said, Ismailia, Luxor, Aswan, Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, and so on. Okay, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. So I divide Egypt into cities. I divide America into states. Why I divide any region into small regions? Why? Number one, guys, to keep track of resources. To keep track of resources. Now, when I divide Egypt into cities, I know, yeah, Port Said is a fishing region. Sharm el-Sheikh is a fishing region and also tourism region. For example, Delta region is farming region. So I can, Cairo is a region that has the land form the Nile River. Okay, so I can keep track of resources. Keep track of resources, it means take care of the resources each region has. Okay, and I can plan to use these resources. I can plan to use these resources. It means how I use the sea in Port Said, the Mediterranean Sea, how I use the Nile River in Cairo, how I use the farming area in Delta. Okay, so now if I keep track, when I divide the country into region, I keep track of resources of each region, and I can make a plan to how to use these resources. Okay, when I plan how to use the resources of a region, how I use, for example, the Mediterranean Sea in Port Said, so I will understand the needs, what Port Saidi people need. They have sea, so they have, they need, for example, a lot of ships. They need, for example, a port. Okay, you know this port where the ships land. Okay, this is port. This is called port. For example, they need fish factories. They need, for example, fish markets. They need, for example, shipbuilders, the jobs that are must be found in Port Said, shipbuilders. Okay, so when I understand the resources of each region, I can provide the people with the service and with the needs. Okay, they have to get. Okay. So I gave you an example of Port Said. Now Egypt is divided into cities. Okay, one of the famous regions in Egypt is Port Said. So when I divide Egypt, and I divide it into regions like Port Said, Alexandria, Cairo, Delta, Upper Egypt, so I could understand each region landform. So yeah, Cairo, for example, has the Nile River. Okay, so how I can make use of this Nile River? I can build ships also, okay, like cruises, to make Nile cruises. I can, for example, build hotels along the Nile River. I can use it in transportation. Okay, use the Nile River in transportation. So I will provide the people who living in Cairo with all what they need to use the Nile River. For Said, for example, they have sea. Okay, they have the Mediterranean Sea. So now I am the government, will provide for Said with all the materials they need, with all the service they need to make use of the Mediterranean Sea, like ships, like building ports, okay, like fish markets, fish factories, and so on. Anything related to the sea. Okay, so this is the using of regions. If you divide your country into region, so you're gonna understand each region landform, and then provide the people with the service and with the needs, okay, they want to get. Okay guys, if you have any question, contact me anytime. Thank you and goodbye.